Expediting with Lucy here. I am in northern central. I'm somewhere in Wisconsin. I'm in the middle of nowhere right now. I am 16 miles from my drop. I have those little butter boxes, the little tiny boxes you have with 4 sticks of butter. I got a 2,000-pound pallet of boxes in the back here. And it's been a long drive, and I thought popped into my head about some of the loads that I've had, and it just reminded me that the one time I got into Oregon, we got contacted for a load from Oregon to Colorado, and it was a 1-ton load. I'm trying to figure out what we're carrying, and my dispatch called me back and said, yeah, that was a 1 ton of marijuana, because it's legal in Oregon, legal in Colorado. So then you have to ask yourself, what happens when you're driving in between those two places with 1 ton on board? And I absolutely do not understand the legalities of it, but the dispatch knew enough to say, no, you don't want that one. That's a hot potato that I don't understand the ramifications of it, so that we ended up passing on that one. But that's something that cracked me up. And if you're ever in a location and you're dispatched for a load, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't seem right, you want to steer clear. And I was talking to a guy here a while back, and I was saying Laredo is its own little monster. This guy got dispatched for picked up a load coming out of Laredo into Chicago, and they gave the address, and he said he drove down these back roads, and all of a sudden he's like right by the Rio Grande, and he was in a loading area, like a loading docks, but they weren't concrete, they were made out of wood, and they obviously had been abandoned for a long time. And he's kind of looking around, and all of a sudden this guy down the way pokes his head out behind a building and kind of goes, come here, and he goes over, and there's just a guy standing there, and there's this dirty cardboard box on the ground wrapped up in what the Army would call 100-mile-an-hour tape, which is not packaging tape, it's like duct tape. And the box is kind of dirty, and the guy wants to hand him the box and a torn-off piece of notebook paper with an address on it, and he went, where's the bill of lading for this? Oh, we don't have it, just take it here. And he sized up that situation. This guy literally wants him to make a drug run for him, because you've got to go through checkpoints to get out of, about Falfurrias and whatnot, to get out of that area. And he started playing with his phone. He goes, I don't have reception, let me drive over here and get reception. He left. He called his dispatch and said, hey, these guys are wanting me to do a drug run for him. And they said, hold on a second. And they called whatever company it was that dispatched them. They tried to call that number, and it was disconnected. So they were literally wanting to pay or not pay him to deliver a load of whatever was in that box for them for free, basically, through all the checks, all this risk to move drugs for these guys. And that's up. I mean, it was so blatant, it was ridiculous. But if you're somewhere and you're looking at something, our dispatchers can't see it. They can't see what you're looking at. But if something smells, there's probably a problem. You'll feel it, and it's not like they're going to be subtle about it. I mean, if they're sneaky and you can't figure out what's going on, that's you can't do anything about it. But when someone's doing something that's just not right, and call a timeout, call the dispatch, tell them this is what I'm seeing, this is kind of the mood in the room, and see what happens. I've had my one load out of Oregon, and this guy talked about that. I mean, he could have gotten in all kinds of trouble. What's the benefit of it? You're probably not even get paid for the run, because there's no bill of lading. It's just a scrap of paper. Go to Juan's house or whatever they had. But it's just something to think about. Not everybody out here is on the up and up, so just remember that. All right, this is Expediting with Lucy. I'm out.